Minerals and Energy Department says it's closely monitoring the compliance of the country's mines with COVID-19 regulations. Almost 1,700 inspections have been done since March. Parliament heard today that 75 miners have now died from the virus, while infections are nearing 8,000. Lindsay Dentlinger is following the story for us. She joins us live from Cape Town. So, Lindsay, let's talk about the compliance or non-compliance issues at these mines.
Shahan, so the department has been conducting inspections right from the onset of the lockdown. You'll recall that some mines were allowed to operate under essential services, for example, coal mines who provide coal to Eskom, for example. And so in that time, they have conducted thousands over 1,600 inspections at mines and issued over 200 notices for mines who are not complying with minimum health and safety regulations. You'll recall that the minister also promulgated regulations that are COVID-19 specific, but these are transgressions to the Mine and Safety and Health Act that they have been monitoring, and in some instances it could result in a part of a mine or an entire operation being shut down. That is what the section in the law provides for, and so the Chief Inspectorate of Mines saying that they believe they've got the situation under control. They are visiting mines across many of the provinces where we're starting to see numbers pick up, and as miners return from other provinces to return to work. But let's take a listen to the Chief Inspectorate and what he told Parliament's committee today.
The level of compliance has been very. What we have noted is that the big mines, especially the big mines, they have, let's say, the protocols, they have the codes of practice in place, right? But the biggest issue that we've been saying, right, they should ensure that the screening and testing is done in line with the regulations that have been promulgated. We've seen that that they have not been doing rigorous testing at one stage, at that particular period. Now, subsequently, the mines have, some of them have bought testing equipment, and we have said to them, they must also share that equipment with the respective municipalities.
So, Lindsay, what measures are being put in place to deal with the curb on the spread of the virus?
So firstly, Shahan, all miners who are returning from provinces where they reside away from where they work, they are all required to undergo a 14-day quarantine before they're allowed back onto the mining site. And so they are also monitoring that level of how much social distancing they are managing to achieve. But what we heard today, that there are concerns that as measures and new technology specifically is being explored to make mines safer through this pandemic and going forward, that it could result in people losing their jobs. And that is a real concern for the Mine and Safety Council, and that's what they're really looking into, reskilling workers that could possibly lose their jobs as a result of new technology being introduced to ensure that social distancing is maintained. But let's take a listen to that kind of research that they're conducting at the moment to put in place measures to prevent any job losses.
One of the areas that we are actually looking at in terms of reducing the impact of job losses, because the likelihood is that with the advent of COVID-19, there might be changes in terms of how the mining industry is conducting its business. And one of the things that might be introduced is the new technologies. We've established a center of education and training for mining in collaboration with the mining qualifications to actually look into the issues of reskilling of mine workers if they happen to be affected by the changes in technology within mining.